Australia's Psychic Cowgirl Tonya Reeves coming at you from here at Sunday Creek. Just wanted to answer a few questions that I have been asked, and I thought I would do some videos on these just so that I'm able to share them and I can direct you to come and have a listen if you're feeling a bit stuck. So one of the biggest questions I get asked is, am I psychic? Yes, you are. I've yet to meet anyone who isn't, but psychic sense is something that we all have within us, but it's whether you choose to connect in with it, whether you choose to develop it. I say, and you'll often hear me say this in class, is your sixth sense or your psychic side is like a muscle. So if I want to have good arm muscles, I go to the gym and I work out and I work those muscles. Exactly the same for your psychic side. For your psychic gift, to bring it on, to fine tune it, you need to work it. So that is going to do courses, utilizing exercises. And I mean, there's an amazing array of them now available on YouTube and, just Google psychic exercises. It can be, I often share in class, sometimes it can be following a car down the road and just anticipating or just tuning into, which direction are they going to be turning. It could be, spending a quiet moment thinking of what number is going to be shown to you today. So you come up with a number, then off you go on your day, and you might forget it for a little while, and then the number appears somewhere. So, these are little things that you can do yourself. It doesn't cost you anything to do these. So, it's just being able to develop that inner guidance. If you've got cards, you might want to shuffle them and pull one out face down and then just see what you pick up around the card. Is it words? Is it pictures? Is it colours or feelings? Doing this to start with, you might just get one hit, and it might be one little thing that you go, oh, that relates. But the more you do it, the more specific you'll get. So don't hesitate to play around with that. And, it's the same if somebody's calling you, the phone rings, or you notice that the phone's going off, and, have a think just before you pick it up. Take a moment to go, who is it? Who do I feel it is ringing me? Might be somebody you don't know, that's fine. Or it might be somebody that you're picking up on. You might go, yeah, I know, it's probably my other half ringing me because he's due to call. But the ones that you don't necessarily know who they might be, just tune into that and, and see what you pick up around it. You might be watching a movie and you might be going, what's going to happen at the end? Okay, I'm going to tune to my psychic side. Right, I'm showing this. Is that how it ended? It's just little things like that. But anything will develop your psychic side when you're tuning into it enough. And really, even if you didn't want to go on to do readings, which most of the people that I connect with that want to tune into their psychic side don't, they just want to be able to make life easier, to be able to make decisions based on their own inner guidance, and to feel comfortable with decisions, and to also feel comfortable about where life is heading and what direction are you going in. So it's I call it it's like our superpower. Why wouldn't you connect in with that? Why wouldn't you take notice of that? It makes sense. So again, look for the signs. I often see things like I'll look out for if I see birds randomly or different birds to what I would normally see. I'll look up their spiritual meaning to see if it's a sign for me. If I notice, it might be butterflies or, it might be just something random. It can be a spider or, just things that you don't normally come across. So things that are a little bit different. All of these are signs. So we all have them, and it's a little bit like the ongoing thing that I keep saying to people is we need to be aware of it, and we also need to be we need to fine tune our concentration. So that's another important thing. A really great one for me that I'm sharing on a blog at the moment was we went away for the last week and we didn't have much internet reception, so I was able to really sort of just shut that off and be even more present than I had been. And there was 2 incidents that happened, and one of them was the first one was we were out fishing in the boat, and one of the lures caught my attention. Now I know the lures are there. I know the fishing rods. I know the boat. I know that, the dog's there. Just that's normal, right? But this lure, for some reason, I just looked at it, and it was sort of, I suppose, a bit fixated on the lure for a bit. And I went, oh, that's unusual. So okay, that's fine. Then off we go. We'd been out, do what we usually do, don't catch anything, and except some stick fish, which is usually like a bit of rushes or something. And we were coming back in, the dog's jumping around, and I've grabbed him on his lead. And as I'm getting out of the boat, my partner had put the fishing rods down, face down, and lying across the top of the boat. The dog's taken off, he's jumped out, and I've got hold of him. My hand just went boom. And where did it land? But in the lure. So I've got a lure stuck in my finger. And it's at the end of the thing. I've got the dog on the other hand trying to run off. My partner's like, here, just let me rip it out. I'm like, no, hell no, I've got the barb in there. And I looked and go, how am I going to get this out? So anyway, it came out. We sorted that. But what I'm coming to is I was shown that. And what that sign was for me was to say, be aware of the lure. Right? But at the time I just went, oh yeah, that's a lure, blah, blah, blah. Then it happened, right? So, that's one example of being shown something, not paying a lot of attention, then the repercussion of that, the consequence of it was X, right? So that's fine. That was the first thing. Second thing that happened was car keys. We'd got lent a car to drive. A great old Toyota Ute, and because we were able to have the dog inside, and it's great car, thanks to Andrew's cousin. It was amazing. So that in the morning I was sitting at the table, the keys were on the bench, and I was just drawn to look at the keys. Now, I don't really pay attention to keys. Can't say it's something that I take a lot of notice of. If you said to me what's on my key ring, I might be able to tell you one thing, maybe two, I don't know. So I was drawn to the key ring, and I looked at, it had the airport parking company there, and it had another toggle, that was a little bit different. So I'm just looking at them. Again, just looked at them a bit longer than usual, and I thought, oh, that's odd. I don't normally look at keys while I'm looking at keys. That was in the back of my mind. Fine, no big deal. Off we go. We drive the car up the mountain, and we go on a hike up on a place called the Pinnacle, which is a great view. So it was awesome. So we're walking up, and we get sort of nearly halfway, and my other half goes, oh, have you got the keys? And I'm like, no, you didn't give them to me. And I had a bag and everything, so I was searching. It's like, oh no, he said, I pulled my phone out. The keys must have fallen out. And I'm like, oh no, it was an old Ute. I don't know how we're going to get a key cut. We're up in the bush. Do we turn back, try and find them? Do we keep going? And anyway, so luckily being psychic, I tuned in. I said, no, I'm pretty sure they're still at the car. And he said, well, there was only the option of he left them in the car or they've been dropped on the way. And I said, my gut feeling, my intuition said, no, they're at the car. So that's fine. So anyway, we climb it up, get to the top, great view, awesome. Then coming back down, we, retracing our steps to where the keys were. And it was really like, we were, a bit like, well, I'd said to my husband, keep the faith. We're going to find the keys. That's our vision. We are not thinking about if we don't find the keys, So I was pretty confident they were in the car. And anyway, as it turned out, yes, they were. We get to the bottom, they're in the car. But again, I was shown the keys. So I was shown the keys for a reason. Notice the keys. Where are the keys, right? Had I taken notice of that sign, when we got out of the car, I would have said, oh, keys, right? Something around keys. So anyway, that's how easy it is for you to miss, not be tuned into what that information is. So why I wanted to share that story with you is because it's just an example, and that happens to me, right? And I'm meant to be the psychic one, right? It happens to the best of us, but we need to take notice, and there are times where we don't take notice. And for me, again, I've been busy, distracted, whatever. I wasn't at this time, so I noticed these things, but because I'd been, into that zone of not taking notice, didn't notice them as much. So you will get these signs as well. So when you notice things and then something happens as a consequence, make note of it. Take note of that because it will be relevant. All right? And that's like Spirit saying, see, I showed you. I told you. And then us as humans going, oh God, yeah, we didn't listen. How many times do we not listen? Many times. So, yes, utilize your psychic muscle. Take notice. Yes, you've got this, and we can all develop a strong psychic sixth sense muscle. So don't believe anyone who tells you that you can't, and that's why I wanted to share that with you. All right, signing off, Tanya Reeves.